Imagine your life as a boat adrift on a vast river, without a rudder, without a destination. That's life without self-confidence. No matter how brilliant you are, if you let fear and shyness steer your course, you'll never reach your full potential. So many of us live in the shadows, afraid to speak up, afraid to fail, afraid to simply be seen. If that sounds familiar, stay with me because this story might just be the turning point you've been waiting for. In a bustling city filled with noise and endless activity, there lived a man who supported his wife and two young sons by selling salt in a small shop. It was honest work, simple but dignified. His younger son was naturally lively and confident, always speaking his mind and making friends easily wherever he went. But the elder son was completely different. He was painfully shy, hesitating to even speak to others, his voice barely rising above a whisper when forced to communicate. People often mistook his quietness for foolishness or lack of intelligence, and many took cruel advantage of his gentle, trusting nature. Yet despite being hurt repeatedly, he never complained or fought back. He simply accepted it as his fate. His father, however, was constantly disappointed and frustrated by his elder son's deep timidity and would scold him harshly in front of others. Each harsh word, each public humiliation chipped away at the boy's already fragile confidence like a hammer striking glass. As he got older, this profound lack of self-belief started to poison every aspect of his life, especially his studies. In exams, paralyzing fear would grip his hand so tightly that he couldn't write down the answers he actually knew in his mind. The knowledge was there, but terror locked it away. He slowly began to fall hopelessly behind his classmates, watching them succeed while he remained trapped. When he came of age to work, his father, deeply frustrated and ashamed, told him bluntly to forget education and help with the family salt business instead. Terrified of disappointing his father yet again and adding to his anger, the boy quietly agreed without protest, but his crushing nervousness made him clumsy and awkward in everything he tried. He fumbled constantly with customer orders, dropped things, and couldn't communicate properly or confidently with anyone who entered the shop, which only made his impatient father even angrier and more disappointed. One fateful day, while his father was away handling business in another part of the city, some cunning, dishonest men walked confidently into the shop with calculated smiles. "Your father sent us personally." They lied smoothly and convincingly to collect all the salt sacks immediately for urgent delivery to the city market. The young man, his mind full of doubt and confusion, hesitated to question them directly. His shyness paralyzed him once again. Before he could properly process what was happening or find the courage to verify their story, they had expertly loaded up absolutely all the valuable goods onto their cart and vanished completely into the crowded streets. That evening, when his father returned expecting a normal day to find the shop completely empty and stripped bare, he exploded in uncontrollable rage. His face turned red with fury. "You absolutely worthless boy, you've completely ruined everything I've worked my entire life to build. Get out of my sight right now, never come back to this house." The words cut deeper than any blade could. Utterly crushed by his father's devastating words, the young man felt his entire world collapse around him. The unbearable weight of his father's explosive anger, the cruel whispers of judging neighbors, and his own crippling sense of complete helplessness made him feel utterly worthless and broken beyond repair. With a thoroughly shattered heart and no hope remaining, he walked slowly to the dark riverbank as the sun set. Heavy shame was like an invisible hand tightening around his throat, choking him. "There's absolutely no point in living anymore," he thought with devastating certainty. "I'll always be nothing but a complete failure. Everyone would be better off without me." Just as he was about to jump into the cold water and end everything, an old man with kind eyes suddenly appeared and grabbed his hand firmly, pulling him forcefully back from the dangerous edge. "Why did you save me?" the young man shouted desperately, his voice thick with anger, confusion, and deep despair. "My life is completely meaningless. I can't do anything right. Just let me go." The old man spoke gently but firmly, his voice carrying ancient wisdom. "My child, Life is infinitely precious and sacred. We only get it once in this entire universe. If you keep living and trying, you can overcome absolutely any failure or setback. But if you give up now in this dark moment, you'll never discover what you're truly capable of achieving. The young man replied with profound sadness, tears streaming down his face. But I'm hopelessly shy and pathetically weak. Even my own father hates me and wishes I was never born. I have no proper education or skills. Everyone in this city calls me stupid behind my back. Does someone as worthless as me even deserve to live and breathe? Hearing these heartbreaking words, the old man's expression turned serious and determined. Come with me to my house right now, he commanded, and without waiting for any reply, he started walking with purpose. Confused, but with absolutely nothing left to lose in this world, the young man followed slowly behind. At his humble but peaceful home, the wise old man said firmly, I have the answer you desperately seek. But first, you must do exactly as I say without question for 3 full days. If you honestly complete 3 specific tasks, I promise I will change your entire life forever. Seeing a tiny flicker of fragile hope igniting, the young man agreed nervously. On the first challenging day, the old man instructed clearly. Today, you will speak directly with 10 complete strangers. Ask them meaningful questions about their lives and write down carefully what you learn. Though extremely hesitant and terrified, the boy began his task. Some people rudely ignored him or walked away, but he pushed through his fear and persisted. By evening, he had not only spoken to 10 people, but had surprisingly also made a few genuine new friends. He felt a small, unfamiliar spark of real accomplishment warming his chest. On the second day, the task became harder. Today, you will teach 10 curious children why water is important for life. The young man was completely startled and panicked. But I haven't studied properly at all. How can someone like me possibly teach anyone anything? The old man smiled mysteriously. They don't know that about you. Just share whatever you do know from your own experience. With a trembling hand holding a simple glass of water, he stood nervously before the gathered children. He somehow managed to share 5 basic benefits of drinking water and quickly stepped back, heart pounding. To his own complete astonishment, he had actually done it successfully. The next time he tried, his voice was noticeably a little steadier and stronger. He was slowly beginning to realize something profound. His crippling fear was actually starting to fade away. On the crucial third day, the old man gave the final and most terrifying task. Now you must go back to your father and apologize sincerely for everything. The young man was absolutely terrified at this thought. No, please. My father will never forgive me after what happened. The old man remained firm and unyielding. If you don't do this difficult thing, I cannot give you my final important advice. Mustering every single ounce of courage he had deep inside, the young man went home with shaking legs. He stood humbly before his stern father, sincerely apologized from his heart, and promised earnestly to prove himself worthy. Seeing a profound and genuine change in his son, a new stillness and quiet resolve he'd never seen before, the father decided to give him another chance in the business. The young man immediately returned to the old man's house. I've done exactly as you asked me. Now please, tell me the secret to success. The wise man smiled warmly with pride. You've already discovered it through your own actions. Your biggest enemy was never your shyness or lack of skill. It was your own fear controlling you. People see you exactly the way you present yourself to them. If you carry yourself with genuine confidence and self-respect, no one will dare to think you are weak. True strength comes from deep self-belief. With tears of profound gratitude flowing freely, the young man bowed deeply. I understand now completely. I won't let fear win ever again in my life. Years later, that once painfully shy boy became a renowned and respected businessman, admired not just for his sharp intelligence, but for his unshakable confidence and integrity. This powerful story reminds us that self-confidence isn't a special gift we're born with. It's a muscle we deliberately build through action. No matter how deep your shyness runs, If you choose to believe in yourself, you can become strong. Fear holds us back, but courage and persistence can transform our entire world. The boy thought he was a failure, but when he faced his fears, his life changed forever. Confidence grows when we step outside our comfort zone. The world sees you the way you choose to show up. So believe in yourself. Take those small, scary steps forward. You will discover a strength inside you that you never knew existed.